So, and I'm the chair of the INLNA Convention 2025, so welcome, welcome. I'm so glad we made it to this day. I feel like I know many of you just from all the emails and seeing everyone's names, so I hope to greet you all personally very soon. I am standing in this morning for our very good friend, Gunvor Osmundson. So she was called away unexpectedly, and we're hoping that she will join us this afternoon, if not this evening. So we look forward to that. So welcome to INLNA Convention 2025 in beautiful Gimli, our heavenly abode, where Líðí began 150 years ago. Before I start, I have a few housekeeping details. Please put your cell phones on vibrate or parking. If any of you parked on the street, you'll note that there's a 2-hour parking restriction. You can absolutely ignore that. This time of year, during the festival, not so much, but I don't even know if there's a tow truck available, and we certainly don't. Watchers are just outside, and any questions you may have, you will see people with red or blue lanyards. Those are either ambassadors or committee members, and we're happy to answer any of your questions, give you directions around town, etc. The cafetimas will be down in the vendor area so that you can do all your shopping. Please try and keep to the times because we do have an awful lot to get through, so you will be herded back and hopefully not too aggressive. Lunches are here, and you will note that you have tickets to everything. We are taking tickets for lunch. There will be a bowl that you can pop it in, and that's just to make sure that we don't run out because interlopers have scooted in and eaten your lunch. The last thing is for those of you who ordered the souvenir pendants, Oliver is here. You don't know if he's in the room yet. There he is. Just find him. He has everything for you. That's enough of that. Okay, well, we'll start by I'm going to invite Ruth Christine to come up and deliver our treaty land acknowledgement. So, Ruth. Now, Ruth is the point of interest. Ruth is not only a distinguished community-based scholar, knowledge keeper, and storyteller. Her family is a key resource of her stories, including that of her great-grandfather, Joseph Monkman, who was involved in the signing of Treaty 1 here in Manitoba. So please, Ruth.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. To the Dakota, Assiniboine, Lake Winnipeg represents the center of the world. It is the place where they were created. Indigenous peoples' origins date back thousands of years before contact with Europeans. The southwest shore of Lake Winnipeg is an ancient homeland. The Icelandic settlers of 1875 established New Iceland with the ancestral territories of the Dakota, Innu, Anishinaabe, and Métis. On the 150th anniversary of New Iceland, we acknowledge these truths in a spirit of reconciliation.
So I'm not going to be up at the podium anymore. I'm going to just introduce people from the ground floor here. So first, I'd like to introduce individuals and the ambassador of Iceland to
Here yet, it's wonderful to be back to the first time in May. I slowly experiencing the different seasons in Gimli. My first time here was probably in 2007 in January. I remember that when I stood with Atli Ásmundsson here out on the here watching over the lake with the massive cold gust coming in, just freezing into my bones. They were way worse than that winds in Iceland, it's constant there. And I remember thinking, it was quite the experience. But then I came for the first time in the summer 3 years ago for the Icelandic and I were 22. I didn't recognize it. This was a summer vacation paradise with the sand beach and people in the water swimming and conservation, transformation, and also in my psyche to understand that this is an amazing place in all seasons. So it's beautiful to be here now and seeing the Iceland of society experience a different season. Dear guests, first I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me yet again to the INLNA convention to meet with the I have witnessed the important work of the INLNA over the years, from attendance in 2011, I think it was until now, and I admire and respect the dedication this group has for the convention of the whole. During the first hour, during my first convention, I realized that I was the smallest in the room. And I knew less about our strong bond and culture in the room. The cultural bond between Iceland and Canada has remained strong for 150 years. Today, there's a growing interest in Icelandic literature and arts in Canada. Collaborations between Icelandic and Canadian artists that showcase a blend of both cultures are increasingly common. I mentioned some of the cultural projects ongoing in Canada today in my note to the endless performances by Icelandic creatives and collaborations with Canadians. Just 3 years ago, we finalized the largest Nordic cultural festival that the Nordics have undertaken together, called Nordic Bridges. The program spanned a full year from coast to coast to coast, and included acts from over 100, acts with hundreds of volunteers from Nordics, Iceland, and Canada. For Iceland, this was a big boost, and we have seen some continuance in the aftermath of Icelandic creatives working in Canada, specifically in literature, music, and performing arts, based on new connections and opportunities that open during the year-round festival. Having those opportunities is important. Continued interest in Canada in Icelandic arts is important. What is vital in all this is our understanding of our past, the historical bond between Iceland and Canada. The understanding that the bond is not just from people who moved 150 years ago to the country we call on holidays Western Iceland, but understanding the deep cultural heritage those people left for us in music, in literature, in arts, and in communities here in Canada. And what was brought back to Iceland, which is something that is often forgotten and hasn't been really researched. What was brought back to Iceland? All the ideas and the support your ancestors gave back in the form of financial support for a lifeline company, corporation such as Iceland. And the ideas of civil society which made Iceland stronger and a better place to live. The cultural bond between Iceland and Canada is deeply rooted in and has evolved through immigration, shared values, collaborative efforts in arts, education, and economy. The ongoing interactions between our nations contribute to a rich cultural tapestry that celebrates our common heritage by embracing contemporary exchanges. This work continues, and the INLNA convention is an important part and a source of inspiration for future relations. I hope you enjoy the convention, and I look forward to being with you and then taking part in the discussion in the next few days. I would also have a few questions people are asking when I leave. I understand. I've been here for 4 years. It's been fantastic 4 years. I have really embraced being in Canada. I traveled to all provinces, to all territories, and most of them more than once. Here, for example, with an Icelandic delegation on energy, where we meet with geothermal companies in Vancouver, hydro, and from there to discussing geothermal and hydrogen wind. So we really have embraced the Canadian war, which has been, as well as Canada. But I was supposed to leave in July, so I would have missed listening about it. But for some reason, I was asked to stay for a few more months. So I will be leaving at the end of this year. We will have a new ambassador for your next engagement in Ottawa in 27. It's excited with this. It'll be a fantastic convention as well. But it's been fantastic to work with. I hope to be back to the INLNA event in the future.
Thank you, Lena. I'd now like to ask our honorary partner, Council General, me in Winnipeg, Bill Hummer.
Thank you, Vivian. It is good to acknowledge that today is really a pleasant day with this nice weather. I should start by well, okay, I'm honored to be here. And what my ambassador said about whenever I go to meetings like this, where there is a whole lot of Canadians and Americans of Icelandic descent, I always feel the same way that the ambassador does. You know, I'm less patriotic than any of these people in terms of being an Icelandic. I know less in many cases issues the people that are here do. It is quite clear, but that is how it is. But again, I'm happy to be here. And it is amazing to me how long-lasting and excellent the relations have been between Iceland and people of Icelandic descent in North America. I mean, 150 years since the first big group of settlers arrived here. It is truly astonishing that we're still talking. It's 150 years. It's a lot of years. It is really something. But I was thinking yesterday when we were at the Heritage Museum, looking at the exhibit that they made about the 100th anniversary of New Iceland. And I started thinking, okay, now 25 years from now, 50 years from now, Will they be talking about what happened in 2025? Will they remember that? And I said, well, I hope so. I probably won't be around for that, but but then I started thinking, so who are those people going to be that are gonna be the North Americans of Icelandic descent that keep the relationship going and so on? I think, I've done this before, but I want to emphasize what I think has been the greatest initiative that people have come up with this century in terms of maintaining the relations. That is the story program, which we will learn more about today. And I'm not going to go into any details except to say that you need to harvest that resource. Those young people that go to Iceland and become, many of them, infatuated by what they experience. Oh, you can go to the pub at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, it's like every story that I talk to, they somehow mention this. And it is true. I mean, it is when you come from Iceland, this is not really important or a big deal. But I guess when you come from here, it is. But you need to harness this resource. You need to try to get those people into your clubs, into sort of working on maintaining the relationship. And I would say to the snotters that here, don't get upset at the old people that want to play cards and do whatever they do in their meetings. Find your own things that you want to do, that you want to sort of explore with Iceland, and do that. Just things evolve. We know that the Icelandic National League of North America is over 100 years old. People used to speak only Icelandic, and then they argued about that, and then they started speaking English. It's like things change as time goes on. We shouldn't be afraid of it. But Vivian was telling me we should not take too long. So I want thank you all for sort of wanting to maintain your Icelandic identity in whatever way that it is really appreciated. So I hope you do have a wonderful good night. Thank you very much.
We're going to move quickly on to our very first speaker this morning, Dr. Christine Goldberg, going to come up and give us a wonderful talk. All the information about the speakers in the program. And is Christine here? Oh, yes, they're here.